Is it officially too late for a September beauty roundup? I'm going to assume you guys are saying no. Hi everyone, I'm Salima, and in this video, I am diving into everything I loved and used consistently throughout the month of September. We are covering a bit of everything: the skincare, hair care, perfume, and a few makeup heroes. Let's do this. First up, let's talk about the two skincare essentials I couldn't put down last month. The first one is the Road Glazing Mist. I've been reaching for it both day and night. I use it like a toner or as a lightweight makeup primer. The actual mist is so fine that it immediately gets a thumbs up from me. Now, on to the product performance. This gives you a lovely layer of hydration, but it is not heavy. If you're expecting that intense moisture of something like the Laneige Cream Skin or the Violet FR Boom Boom Milk, this isn't that. It sits right in the middle, not watery, not heavy duty. I think as we transition into the drier fall and winter air, this mist will help in preventing that dry, flaky, or cakey look when I apply makeup. It adds a subtle, beautiful, radiant effect to the skin. It's not a blinding glow, but just a really healthy luminosity. I found it made a difference in how my makeup wore all day long. I absolutely love it and recommend it if you're looking for a hydrating layer that plays well under makeup. Next up is a moisturizer that you guys know I love, the Tatcha the Dewy Skin Cream. For my dry skin, this product is absolute perfect as a daytime moisturizer throughout the summer and especially now in the fall. I have to be honest, the only time this moisturizer isn't quite enough for me is when we hit the absolute dead of winter. When it gets really cold outside, I usually have to swap it out for something heavier. But for all the other months, the consistency is why I keep coming back to it. It's a lovely medium weight cream with a gorgeous satin finish. That means it gives you all that healthy, beautiful dewiness without the greasy feeling. It absorbs incredibly quickly and leaves no tacky residue behind. I'm practically scraping the bottom of the jar right now, which is always the best sign. Also, I've never once used that little gold spatula, but it does look beautiful sitting on my counter. A super important note because I like to be upfront. While Tatcha says this is free of synthetic fragrances, the ingredient list does contain perfume. I personally enjoy that light, slightly floral scent and it fades really quickly. But if you have ultra sensitive skin or you're strictly avoiding all the added fragrance, that's definitely something you need to be aware of before purchasing. All right, let's move on to makeup. I have two base products that I've used a lot in the month of September, starting with the Victoria Beckham foundation drops. I actually did a full detailed review on this one, comparing it to some other foundations in my collection. You can find that video on my channel if you want that deep dive. But here's my quick take. This product really caught me by surprise, mostly because of that hefty luxury price tag. I feel like I'm paying a premium because it includes that proprietary skincare ingredients from Augustinus Bader. Now, for the product itself, I genuinely have zero negative things to say except the price. It has a super lightweight consistency and gives the skin a beautiful radiant finish. As we head into the drier fall and winter seasons, I really appreciate how hydrating this feels on my skin. For me, this acts more like a skin tint. I get light coverage out of it, it wears beautifully, and I don't see any settling at the end of the day. If you are in the market for a comfortable, lightweight skin tint with a radiant finish, you will not regret spending your money on this. However, if I had to pick between the Victoria Beckham foundation and her concealer, I would grab the concealer every single time. I know I have featured this concealer in a favorites video before, but buying the foundation actually made me pull this back out, and I immediately realized how much I missed it. There are a ton of thin, serum like concealers on the market right now, but what makes this one a superstar is how easily it builds to a solid medium coverage while still looking completely natural. It doesn't crease and it never looks heavy or cakey under the eye. I also love this pen cell applicator with a tiny brush. I find it super functional and easy to use. Maybe it's just me, but I'm more willing to spend on a concealer that looks natural, provides decent coverage, and wears well all day than I am on a skin tint. My under eyes are a bit of a problem area for me, and that's where I need the most dependable product. Let me know in the comments, are you more comfortable spending more money on a concealer or on a foundation? Next, I have to give a huge shout out to the Hourglass holiday palettes this year. Honestly, Hourglass knocked it out of the park by finally giving us some new shades. And that is exactly why I ended up buying two of them. Let me be clear, I am not an Hourglass palette collector because for me, there's no point in dropping this kind of money if I know I'm only going to use half the powders. If two or three shades in a six pan palette don't work for me, I'm skipping it. But this year, both the Swan and the Fox palettes have such a great variety of colors. For instance, the Swan palette gives you this beautiful combination of a peach, a coral, and a stunning berry blush. The Fox is the warmer tone palette, and I've been obsessed with the bronzer and that blush shade, Cannon Heat. Both of these palettes instantly give me the most gorgeous, luminous, sun kissed makeup look. I have always loved the Hourglass powder formulas. They're consistently reliable. And when you factor in that you get the bronzer, the blush, the highlighter, and the finishing powder all in one kit, they become my ultimate travel companion. If you're looking for a flawless face in a single compact, these are absolutely worth checking out this year. Before we talk about my next blush favorite, I wanted to give you guys a quick heads up. I have picked up a few of the Dior holiday makeup this year. My honest review of all those pieces will be going live right after this video. So if you're interested in that new collection, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and have your notifications turned on so you don't miss an upload from me. Speaking of blushes, another one that completely stole the show for me last month is the Glossier Cloud Paint Plush Blush. I actually went a little crazy with these. I initially bought three colors, but then I went in store and immediately picked up another shade called Storm. This is such a beautiful, deep, earthy terracotta color. I think a terracotta blush like this is an essential year-round hero in my makeup bag. In the summer, it creates that sun kissed and effortless vibe that looks incredible. But it's even more necessary in the fall and winter when my skin is looking more dull and pale and I'm losing all of my summer glow. This shade instantly provides that much needed layer of warmth and dimension. By the way, guys, I'm working on a full autumn fall blush video right now, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Now, for the product performance, these Glossier blushes are so finely milled that they apply and blend into the cheeks like a dream. They give you a beautiful, soft matte finish that actually has a blurring effect on the skin. They're super easy to use, they last all day, and I love the natural look they give. I'm really enjoying them. Moving on to my favorite category, lips. As usual, I have more than one product here. First up is the Violet FR Matte Lip Whip. When I first reviewed this, I only picked up one shade because I was unsure of a matte formula. But I went back and picked up two more shades. That should tell you everything you need to know. These have the most incredible whipped cream texture, and it is a thin formula, not thick or goopy at all. This texture is what creates that perfect, soft, blurred lip look. I love all three shades I picked up. They're bold and saturated, but still so easy to wear. In terms of performance, they're not transfer resistant, which is fine, but they do leave a gorgeous stain behind. So even at the end of a long day, I still have pigment left on my lips. They do not settle into my lip lines or end up looking patchy or flaky, which I think is the biggest hurdle for the matte formulas. If you don't love a matte look, you can always top it up with a clear gloss. But honestly, these are fantastic as they are. I highly recommend checking them out. Sticking with the lips, I also have to highlight a more luxurious option that I have been wearing nonstop, the Louis Vuitton matte lipstick in the shade 110. This color is perfect for fall. I would describe it as a beautiful, toasted almond nude that has a gorgeous, warm, reddish undertone to it. This shade is such a versatile, everyday neutral that instantly makes my whole face feel finished, no matter what else I am wearing. It gives a beautiful velvety finish on the lips, and this texture is actually perfect if you want to apply it softly and lightly for a blotted lip look. It just melts right in. In terms of wear, I get a solid 6 to 7 hours of wear out of it, even through eating and drinking. I love this formula, but I have to be honest. The high price tag is the unfortunate part. It performs beautifully, but that cost is definitely something you have to weigh when considering the purchase. Alright, for my very last lip favorite, I wanted to share a set that I've been pulling apart and using constantly, the Merit Archival Lip Set. If you have watched my review on this set, you know it comes with a lipstick, a lip liner, and a lip oil, all in one limited edition shade called Archival. For me, the stars of the show have definitely been the lip liner and the lip oil. The shade itself is a gorgeous, cool mauve. I'm usually not into cool tone lip colors, so I was surprised that this shade works incredibly well for me. When I use this lip liner, the lip oil looks absolutely stunning on my lips. It has this beautifully thin oil formula with some very subtle silver shimmer in it. It gives you a great glossy finish, but it's definitely not overly sticky or greasy. If you're looking for that chic, effortless mauve lip, this combination is what you need. I highly recommend grabbing this set while this shade is still available. Lastly, let's quickly talk about one haircare product that have been a consistent staple for me for the last 3 months. The Kerastase Gloss Absolute High Shine Conditioner. This conditioner is marketed to instantly make your hair look glossy and frizz-free. Basically, silky smooth and easy to detangle. And honestly, I 100% agree with those claims. This makes my hair so incredibly shiny and easy to manage. For high gloss performance, this actually rivals my Color Wow Money Mask, which, as you know, is my ultimate favorite for glossy hair. I use this Kerastase conditioner about bi-weekly and the shine lasts in my hair for 2 to 3 days afterwards. If you're struggling with dullness and frizz, this is an excellent, high-performing product that I really love and recommend. As for my perfumes, I wasn't so lucky last month. Because I ordered a few things from Dior, I got a lot of samples of the new Miss Dior Essence perfume, which gave me plenty of chances to test it out. And here's my honest take. I feel like this is a perfume that is completely dominated by a jammy blackberry note. To me, it is so heavily centered on that syrupy blackberry that it's almost sickly sweet. It also hits my nose as an incredibly sharp scent, especially right on the opening. The dry down is slightly better and more tolerable, but I have to note that this doesn't have any of that soft rose in it. Ultimately, for me, this just isn't a misty or flanker that I enjoy or would recommend. It was just too sweet and too sharp. I would definitely say try to get a sample before you commit to a full bottle. Another perfume I wanted to quickly touch base on is the Maison Margiela replica from the garden. The name of this perfume is absolutely accurate. It smells like a real garden. I mean that in the most literal sense. It is incredibly earthy, green, and very herbal. You get that realistic smell of dirt, leaves, and maybe a little tomato leaf, which is fascinating. Now, here's my honest take. As much as I enjoy that authentic green smell, I don't want to smell exactly like a garden all day long. For me, it remains completely linear. It doesn't evolve much from that initial herbal blast, and it ends up being just a little too intense. While the realism is impressive, I found it almost too much like a botanical experience rather than a perfume I actually want to wear. It's an amazing experience, but not a functional favorite for me. Another perfume that didn't quite make the favorite list is the Raspberry Ripple by Jo Malone London. The name and the marketing of this made me expect a creamy, milky raspberry ice cream scent. But that is not what I got at all. Instead of creamy, this is very aquatic, fresh scent combined with a lot of fruitiness and musk. It is definitely a very fruity scent, but the overall profile is just good. It's not great. There's something missing that I can't quite pinpoint. It's nice to wear from a sample, but it's just not a memorable scent for me. Not memorable enough to spend my money on a full bottle. My biggest disappointment, though, is the longevity. This fragrance barely lasts an hour on me. It's a perfume that you can use if you layer it with something else, but the performance on its own is just not good. It's a pass for me. As for my final fragrance of the month, I wanted to discuss the Nest Creme de Clementine. This one smells exactly like an orange creamsicle. The opening is an intense burst of zesty, sharp, and tangy clementine. You can almost smell that bitterness from the orange peel, and honestly, that initial blast is not my favorite part. However, it changes quite quickly. The citrus fades and the vanilla starts coming through in the dry down. What you're left with is a soft, sweet vanilla that is incredibly natural and warm. I absolutely love the dry down. The only issue for me is that I'm just not big into citrus scents, so unfortunately, this one isn't full bottle worthy for my personal collection. In terms of performance, I can easily smell this on myself for at least 5 hours. It projects moderately for the first hour or so, and then it settles down nicely into warm skin scent. If you love creamsicle scents, definitely give this one a try. Well, friends, that wraps up all of my favorites and not so favorites for the month of September. I'm really curious to hear what do you guys think. Let me know down in the comments if you have tried any of these products and tell me what products have you been using nonstop lately. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye for now.